TGIF, thank God it's fish. I'm Mike Fisher, trustee and trusted reporter. This is the Fishbowl. That is the star. A building very much under fire, figuratively, of course. The latest guy to line up his cannon and shoot it into Frisco is a friend of the show, Troy Aikman. Maybe this side of Roger Staubach, the most respected Cowboy voice ever. And obviously, by virtue of his 20 plus years as the lead TV guy for first Fox and now ESPN, universally respected. I know I don't have to explain the hows and the whys of that to you, 72,000 fish heads in Cowboy Nation. So when Aikman speaks, we listen. And I've been very frank about him and with him over the years on a variety of NFL front office issues. And we don't always agree on all of them. By the way, Troy Aikman for general manager, Bill Belichick for coach, fish at 6 tonight. You might want to make an appointment for that beauty. I'll give you an example. Now, this goes back years. Aikman had been on television, the top dog for a long time. But we got to talking about the trade value chart, and he wasn't particularly aware of it. So the idea that you could just, snap your fingers and Troy knows everything. Not even Troy knows everything. If he became a general manager of an NFL team, he'd probably learn it real quick. But on the subject, the subject of certain salary cap and stuff like that, he doesn't have an expertise there. The last time I checked with him. But I watch film. Troy Aikman should probably get a free T-shirt from the Uncle Fish store below. I watch film. Yes, he watches film. And he just put CeeDee Lamb, the other guys in the receiver room, and the coaching staff led by Mike McCarthy that Aikman is a supporter of. Aikman is pro Mike McCarthy. But what a gigantic butt we now have here. I'm seeing in the chat, and I appreciate you being here. Hit the like button, would you please? That tells the algorithms on YouTube that you want real life Cowboy program and not kittens dancing on piano keys. And also subscribe to what we do here and tell a friend. We love to have you at cowboyscountry.com as well. Marry that, will you? Bookmark it, cowboyscountry.com. We rule. So I'm seeing some of you guys go, we need to trade for this. I'm trying to help you be realistic on things. So we do, and November 5th is a trade deadline, and then after that, we could be done with it. We spend a lot of time shooting down opinions that don't make any sense. But we're very much into analyzing things that make sense from people who make sense. And along comes Troy. While Jerry's on 105.3 The Fan, Aikman goes on the 96.7 ticket thing and does his weekly paid appearance. We can sit here all we want, and I know many of you played, coached, scouted. There's no question. We got some of the finest scouts in the land when it comes to Cowboy fans. 3-3, plethora of problems. Jerry said the other day, he conceded, we're in the proverbial BULLSH. The S. He said it. We're up to our ankles in BULLSH. Around here, straight dope, no BULLSH. Here comes Aikman. Film study, no less an authority than an NFL icon, an extremely bright guy who's lived it, and a guy who's, no matter what people think, is anything but anti-Cowboys. He would love for the Cowboys to be better. Loves this state, loves this city, and secretly, privately, loves this team. And out he comes after studying and saying the Cowboys receivers, Lamb specifically, are terrible, that's his word, at route running. Quote, I think the routes are terrible. They run terrible routes. And I've thought that beyond this year. I think CEEDEE's got to improve in his route running. The Aikman that you know, the Aikman that I know, he's not one to go off half-cocked. He knows the power of his words. He knows what's going to happen as a result of his words. So he's smart and careful with them. This is going to put an intense focus on CeeDee Lamb. Maybe it'll even inspire him. It will cause people to say, who are the offensive coaches over there who are letting this happen? He understands the power of his words. CeeDee Lamb, all-pro performer. Leads the Cowboys with receivers with 32 catches this year, 467 yards, 2 touchdowns. Numbers not exactly up. A year ago, top of the charts, 135 catches, 1,700 yards, 8 receiving touchdowns, I believe, right? As a result of that performance and his talent and his effort, CeeDee Lamb's now the highest paid. Is he the second highest paid non-quarterback? Yeah. $34 million per year. And when you make $34 million a year, it's all the more imperative that you execute at the highest level. Because if some $1 million receiver over there is being lazy, Aikman actually used the word lazy, who cares? We'll get rid of him. Can't do that with your $34 million wide receiver. And of course, that intense focus, because of the money, causes the networks also make sure there's a camera over there on him on the sideline. Just in case. And the network cameras have been rewarded a couple times. Aikman. I see guys lazy coming off the line of scrimmage. Oh boy. Sometimes they run. Usually if they do, it's because they're anticipating they're going to get the football on that play. But if they're not, they don't. If they know that they're not a primary target, he's saying, sometimes they run lazy routes, and it all ties together. I'm not impressed with that part of it. You don't have to be a Hall of Fame quarterback to understand the ramifications here. Even a dope like me gets it. And this will trickle up to the people who run the Cowboys. They pay it. We said the other day, they pay attention to what Sean and RJ say. They pay attention to what the Fish Report says. They read the newspapers. They know, they're aware of cowboyscountry.com, all of that. Not that they should overreact to any of it, but when Aikman speaks, he did note that Dak Prescott might not share his opinion. And of course, it would be unwise generally for Dak to go public with that opinion. That doesn't solve anything. But know that Aikman, longtime TV presence, Fox, ESPN, has a well-earned reputation for frankness without hyperbole. You know that. We all agree on that, right? There's nobody in this audience who thinks Aikman's wrong or that he's doing it for attention. He's far from anti-Cowboys, and his analysis is golden, and his timing is ironic because Aikman's remarks come in the wake of Jerry reacting angrily and negatively to the host of 105.3 The Fan, saying he wouldn't mind that line of questioning if it was coming from real football people. Now, EJ and M. Rangel and Dylan and DB Cooper and Steven, we can all argue about what real football people are. I played in high school. I played in college. Well, I coach it. I have no doubt might be some people in this audience who worked for the Dallas Cowboys as football guys. And I take nothing away from any of you for your self-analysis as a football guy. What Jerry is saying here, and it's absurd, and it's not valid, is in addition to Sean and RJ shouldn't question me because I pay them, which isn't true, because they're just like Brad and Dale were, which isn't true. Completely different situation. In addition to the absurdity of that, there is this idea that if you're a reporter, you're not a football guy. Now, I've been very frank and honest about what I am and what I'm not. In the strictest terms, in the strictest sense of what Jerry's defining as a football guy, I guess I'm not. I'm not in the Hall of Fame. I didn't play quarterback, didn't play in the NFL. But Aikman did. And so, Jerry, if you're saying you would accept that line of questioning, not from goofballs like Sean or goofballs like RJ or goofballs like Mike Fisher or Ed Werder or John Machota, you don't think that line of questioning is appropriate from us because we're not football people. There is no more real football person in the Cowboys world and in the NFL world than Troy Aikman. So, Jerry, you don't want to be questioned by Sean. He doesn't merit that. You don't want to be questioned by Dale, by RJ. He doesn't question that. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't earned that honor. There's no more real football person in your world, Jerry, than Troy Aikman. So, are you listening to him? If Jerry was serious about this position, that I'm irritated when you non-football people bother me on issues, but I'm accepting if a football person wants to bother me. You know, Troy Aikman and Jerry Jones live about yay far apart. They hang out in the same spots, down in Highland Village. Good morning, sugar. Huh? Highland Park Village. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you said Highland.
Oh, Highland Park Village is, yeah. If Jerry was really serious about what he's claiming to be serious about, he's on the phone with Aikman yesterday afternoon after finding out about his CeeDee Lamb comments, and they are at breakfast today, right now. And Jerry's all ears. You want a real football person, Jerry, to tell you what he thinks so you can absorb it and apply it? He just did it. And I pretty good bet that Jerry isn't hosting a Troy Aikman breakfast at Highland Park Village this morning. Tonight, fish at 6. Why don't you hire Belichick and Aikman? Diddly diddly dink. What? Fish at 6 tonight. For now, cowboyscountry.com. Fish out. Oh, and by the way, don't be a slappy.